You worked with a bunch of directors though that have a reputation for being a little testosterone filled and a little crazy. A guest from our show and someone I love a lot, Billy Friedkin. You did Hunted with him. The Hunted.
Oh yeah,
yes.
love the Hunted.
All right, now that you made that noise, I need to know what that noise was about.
The Billy Friedkin noise.
Yeah, that's the Billy noise.
Well, first of all, right before I did The Hunted, I was doing this little TV show called The Beast, which went for about like 8 episodes and then disappeared off the radar. But Frank Langella was the lead of this weird little show, and I kind of bonded with him, partly because like my character really had father issues, and so we kind of just unconsciously bonded with each other. But I told him that I was going to be working with Billy after this TV show, and he looked at me and he went, I said, what does that mean? He's like, certifiable.
Great answer.
Certifiable. Fantastic. So then I worked on it, and the first day I had like a 2-page techno-speak monologue from hell, which I just don't do that stuff very well, which is why I get hired once for FBI agents, and then they see that it just doesn't pan out because I can't deliver all that techno-speak. And every single time I would get about halfway through, which meant 1 page of solid dialogue, and then I'd just kind of go up. Every time around the same time, I'd go up on the lines. And, I'd go up once, and he'd go, cut! All right, you okay, Mo? Is everything okay? You got this? I'm like, yeah, Billy, I know it. I got it. I don't know why I'm going up. He's like, all right, let's try it again. I go back. I go up in the same place. Cut! Mo, you better sit the fuck down there and learn your goddamn line. Whoa.
That's Billy being nice.
No.
By the way, Mark's Billy impression's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good Billy impression.
Yeah. That's him being nice.
Everybody's Mo.
So
there's another actor on the show who has an even better story about Billy coming down to him and giving him inspiration for a scene where he gets killed by Benicio, I think.
Inspiration.
Where he comes traipsing. I guess he wasn't showing enough fear, and so Billy came traipsing down. He's like, "Look, this guy's got a really big cock, and he's coming after you to fuck you in the ass." I don't know if I could say that.
Oh, Matt, you're gonna get more hate mail.
All I told Billy was like, look, just put a 1,000-foot mag on there. Let me just keep doing it until I get it right. And he let me do it, and we got through it okay. And then he walked up to me after we got done shooting, and there were these pictures lining the walls of this office. And he goes, hey, Mo, come here. I go over to him, and he goes, you see that picture right there? I look. It's, a woman smiling, like a picture of an FBI agent. I said, yeah. He goes, I fucked her. I said, thank you for that. And he's like, yeah, okay.
It sounds like between Billy Friedkin and Gene Hackman, we got 2 new friends, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I love how Billy's doing a movie that his wife is the head of the studio on, and he's telling everyone how he's fucking people in his office. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Good job, Bill. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, good old Sherry Lansing. Yeah, whatever happened to Sherry Lansing?
She's still
kicking.
Still around.
She's kicking.
She runs like Stand Up for Cancer or something. I don't know how she puts up with Billy. It's none of my business, but
probably because it's easy compared to putting up with stand-up comics.
Oh my God. Well,
yeah, Billy's an interesting guy, and when I saw him in ADR, I thought for some reason he'd go ape shit on me because he was just so unpredictable. I walked into the ADR studio, and he's like, "Hey, you're really good in this picture, Mo." Okay, thanks.
Did you almost get into it with him, though, when he told you to sit down and learn your fucking lines?
Yeah, well, all I said to him was, that isn't going to help. Doing that doesn't do anything for me, so let's just... he has no editing device, man. I don't care who you are. I think he'd just get up in your, and he looks like a dentist or like a proctologist. He doesn't look like the type of guy that would
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
cut
does.
your balls off in public.
What happens is when you're completely tactless, that kind of comes off as being good business sense.
Oh man. Wow. And when he was on the show, and I love him, and I'll have him on again anytime because he can weave. He can tell a story, and you suspect a good portion of it may be bullshit, but you know what? It's a great story nonetheless.
Right.
Oh, he's smart as hell.
Yeah.
He's no shit smart, and and he can tell a story. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't allow cast chairs or anything on the set. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I'm okay with that. I'd never be in my chair anyway.
Nobody sits down on the set.
I got ADD. I wouldn't be in my chair anyways. I don't think I could do that.
Well, you know what you're getting into after all this time.
Yeah, right.
You sign on to one of his pictures.
Frank Langella warned you, and that was all you needed to know.
Frank is as cranky as it gets.
Well, and Frank wrote that biography. Did you ever read Frank's new biography he wrote, Mark?
No.
Oh, my God. He talked shit about everybody.
About Paul Newman,
Yeah.
who got along with everyone.
Yeah, right. Frank was burying everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's brutal.
How could you talk shit about Paul Newman? What did Paul Newman ever do wrong?
Now listen. I know that you're like buddies with Frank, so I'm not gonna disparage him too much. But the guy talks shit about everyone who's dead. No one alive, though. No one alive.
I'm not buddies with Frank.
Oh, okay.
When I was at the SAG Awards for Capote, I walked up to him hoping, hey, I had such a great experience with him. He was such a mentor, and he was so kind and fatherly. I walked up to him like, hey, Frank, how you doing? He looked at me like I had leprosy. And I said, Mark, I worked with you on the Beast. He's like, oh, yeah. It was like a shame. It was like something, a memory he would have rather pushed out of his head. And there I was.
Oh,
like a PTSD flashback.
That's okay. The only person he talked shit about that's alive in that book, I think, was Lauren Bacall, and that may only be because Frank thought she was dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I just watched The Big Sleep the other day. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, The Big Sleep, Mark, with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. It's from 1946. I can't believe Lauren Bacall's still alive and looks great.
Looks good.
And looks great. She's got to be like, what, 90?
Yeah.
Holy cow. And what a great movie, The Big Sleep.
The best,
is.
yeah.
What a great movie.
Yeah,
they don't make them
great
like
movie.
They don't.
And I met her in '98. I met her in Prague.
Oh wow.
Wow.
How was she?
I was with Rod Steiger. This is kind of a weird experience. Steiger used to take me with him to these film festivals. And I'd be kind of his, I'd be Max to his Norma Desmond,
That's
and
awesome.
And I'd be his assistant, kind of, and he looked at me as his assistant, not as a fellow thespian, but as assistant. And I remember Lauren Bacall was there in the lobby of the Intercontinental Hotel, and Rod was there, and I sat down and watched him play her like a goddamn piano. He was like he was playing hard to get. He's kind of beating up on her a little bit, and she just kept coming for it. Like, I think I asked him later, Rod, you seemed a little bit rude to her. Yeah, she likes it. She likes it.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, I'm glad you cherish those memories with Rod Steiger.
What a
because
cool
I gotta
thing.
tell you, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's great that you recognize that, though, because some guys I know in the business are friends with all these legends, and, like, you wouldn't know it. They don't respect the fact that they are.
No, I loved the time with him, and I picked his brain, you know, about Brando and
he's really a
how he
genius.
got into acting.
All right, now I got to ask you this because I've asked everyone that's come on the show who's worked with this guy their story because everyone says he's actually a great guy and they don't know where the gossip comes from that he isn't. David Caruso, CSI Miami. You got to work with David. Was he fun?
Oh, my God. All right. Well, see, I have mixed feelings about David.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he kind of was nice to me. But he was also, like, directing me. Now, I know that, he's kind of I guess the man on the show and everything. And in a way, it's kind of his prerogative, but I think it's really bad taste for one actor to direct another. I would never presume to do it. I remember when we were doing National Treasure, this one kid, he's a really good actor, but he was just enthusiastically telling Harvey Keitel, like, oh, maybe you should do it like this. And Harvey went, are you directing me?
Oh, man.
And the whole, we all kind of backed off, like, somebody just set off a timer on a grenade, and he had to get out of the general vicinity. But David kind of thinks it's his prerogative to direct other actors. And he would say things to me, and so, some of them were a little hokey, but I played along. I didn't want to lose a job and get in a fight with the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But he kept cutting down this one scene that he was in because he didn't have a lot of dialogue. So he kept cutting down the scene, whittling down the scene to almost nothing, because he didn't want to sit there kind of with his pud in his hands, just looking at a scene, without his verbal input. It's like, I don't know, I don't really know what to do, so let's just kind of cut the scene down. And the scene is, he's interrogating me and he thinks I'm lying. So, they turn the camera around on me, and suddenly, for the first, he's, when the camera's on him, he's posing, he's taking his glasses off, he's doing all this stock stuff. But when the camera turns around on me, he's looking at me like he's analyzing my open pores. I mean, he's looking at the blackheads on my face. He's seeing how my teeth grow. He's really looking at me. And they'd say, cut. And I went and I said to him, hey, Dave, that's what you should have been doing during your side.
Oh, man.
That's good. That's really good.
You're still talking about him nicer than Frank Langella would have.
Yeah, right. Frank's not a Caruso fan, you think?
Yeah.
Well, Caruso's still alive.
Yeah,
so.
right.